Hello everyone, welcome to craft table. And on my table today I have brought out a few of the leftover yarns or from my stash, and today I have chosen mostly cotton, and the sizes are size 10 and below. See, if you see, this is the thickness of the threads. So these are a little of from what I have of the leftovers. I have a lot of other acrylics also. Today I brought out only the cottons. I have taken the cottons, and all of them are similar in thickness. Okay, so it can be any thickness. So I don't want to mention any numbers here, but all you have to understand is that whatever you have chosen should be more or less of the same thickness. So that's how it will be easy for us to work. Now see here, see, these are all some cotton thread which I have wound for some reason. I don't know for what I made all this into small bundles like this, and some of them are left over from other projects. And these are some crochet cotton mixed with some gold what you call like a tinsel, so these are too thin for my use now because of my eyesight. I don't prefer using very thin thread, so I want to use them up for something else. It's the same thing is with this also. So this is also cotton, and I have a little bit of quantity which I cannot use for any one project, but I am going to mix it up with this. See, if you see here, this is the thickness of the yarns, so they are all very thin. And now first of all, like I've already kind of color coordinated it already. So some oranges are here, and some beige and whites, and some black, and some gold. Now how to use this is, what you do is take another cotton thread, or preferably cotton, because this is cotton. So take another ball of thread or yarn or whatever you have left over. It may be little or it may be more, but some sufficient quantity, or it could be a new thread also, if you have some. So what I am going to do is, now I am going to take one strand of this, and say, supposing if I am going to take, say, this, I am going to start with the white one. So I am going to hold this white and the red together, and I am going to now, if this thickness is enough for me, I can go ahead, but for my project I want it a little more thicker. So I am going to add another say thread with this. I could add another white also to make it 3 strands like this, or I can add some other color also. So depending on, these are all this is this is like doing it as we go. So there is no particular order in that, in whatever you have to do. So what I think is, okay, I'll go ahead with this one, and I'm going to put these 3 strands together like this. Okay, and instead of just start to crochet, what I am going to do is, I am going to wind this up and keep it as a ball. So when I want to crochet something, it is going to be easy for me. So what project I am going to do with this also I will be showing you, but to begin with, this is the method that you have to follow. One of them will be a color which will run throughout your what you call the throughout this project, and in between, when one of them finishes, we will add another thread with this, and if this finishes, we will add another thread with this. But at all times we will make sure that there are 3 strands on this, and even if not 3 strands, if it is if there are some threads which are thicker, and if you add 3 strands, it is going to become thicker. So you can make it only 2 strands also. What you have to remember is that the thread thickness should be same throughout. Never mind how many the threads you are going to add together with this to make it that thickness. Sometimes you might have to add 2, sometimes you might have to add 3. This is going to be constant. These two are going to be changing. So when this finishes, I'll take another thread, and when this finishes also I'll be taking another thread. So let's begin now. Now I have a spare what do we call this? I don't get the name of this. So I'm going to wind this up on this and keep it ready for my use. So let me wind it up like this. Okay, get all the 3 together and start winding it up. Now because I am doing it on camera, it is I have to do it within the frame. But if you are going to be working on your own, it's going to be a little more easier. It's not going to be this cumbersome. It's going to be more easier. Because when you are doing it off camera, you can drop your balls down on the the yarn balls down on the floor, and then it will be easy for you to wind. But so this is how it goes. Okay, so now the next step is, okay, now supposing when we come here, and when say the white thread is, this thread is finished. Okay, so when this thread is finished, so just leave everything else and attach another one with this and make it 3 strands and continue. And supposing after some time this golden color thread finishes, attach another thread to this and continue. So I hope you got the idea that we are going to make a new yarn, 3-strand yarn with all the threads that we have here continuously. So when one finishes, we are just going to add another one. Add in the sense, I will show you. You have to knot it up. Okay, just for a sample. Say my white is over now, and I need to add another thread. And if I am going to add this one, I am going to hold these two together. Okay, and just make a overhand knot like this. That much is enough, because if you have some sufficient tail, it is easy for us to weave it inside the work easily. So we'll do like that. So you will leave that now, and then we'll continue like this. Okay, and we'll keep winding it, and as we go, if another thread finishes, again for sample I am doing, supposing this gold one is finishing. Okay, take another thread, make a overhand knot with this and continue. So this red one is going to be constant, whereas the other two are going to be changing. So you take something and wind up your thread and keep it ready. Then I'll show you what we are going to do with this one. And if you are wondering what happens when we run out of this main thread, the only option is to find another thread of the same thickness and continue, attach it with this one, join it with this one and continue. So that's one of the options that you can, that's one of the options we can do. Or you can, whatever is there, if you want to finish it with this one and use this thread for a project, we can do that one also. So either ways, this main color will be one single color. When this finishes, you can add another color. So now that that magenta pink color that I had only lasted till here. So in the beginning I used little blacks and oranges and all that, and now some whites and stuff. So this is the yarn that I have, which I can use for any project. I'm going to show you what I am going to do with that now. See, now once this is finished, and as I'm doing something, and if I run out of thread and if I need more thread, what I'm going to do is, now because I don't have this base color here. So in this stash that I have taken out, these 4 of them are somewhat in the same shade. So I am going to consider this as the base, but the only thing is this one, I think we will have to hold 3 strands together to make it this thickness. See, finally what we want is a yarn which is as thick as the one that we have made already. So my guess is, if I add 3 of them together, it might be around the same thickness. So what I have to do is, I will take 2 of sorry, that one went down my table. I will take 2 of this, and I will consider this as the base thread. Okay, I will take these 2 and I will consider this as the base thread, okay, the common one, and along with this I will add any other color. Say, supposing I can add this black, or I can add this golden yellow or something, and I can make another ball of yarn of the same thickness. In case in my project, if this one gets over, then I can use this one also. If not, I can use it for some other project also. So it's not necessary that your base yarn has to be only 1 strand. It can even be 2 strands also, because I have this color which are almost similar. I am considering this as the base yarn, and along with that I will add something. I'll add another thread which will become the same thickness as the one that we are making. So this I will wind it up again separately, okay, on another spool. I think earlier I was not getting the name for that. It's an empty spool. Okay, so I am going to wind this up together like this. The beauty about this kind of making our own variegated yarn is, no matter what color it is, it always looks pretty, always. So we don't have to bother about too much of color coordination and things like that. You can just make very random picks of color and then wind them up together, and your project, when you finish it, definitely it's going to be a very pretty one. Okay, so this is how we go about if you are getting another shade. And another thing is, see, if you are making something, say if you are going to be making a placemat or say some flowers or whatever, some small items, you can use these 2 also as 2 different colors. Say you can use this for the base, you can this for the border. If you are making a granny square, you can alternate these 2, or any way you can use this in any different ways you want. Considering, you should just consider that this is 1 strand of yarn, that's all. I hope you get the point. I am explaining the same thing again and again just because I want to make sure that everybody who is watching this understands what I am trying to say. We are just going to consider this as 1 strand of yarn or thread. Okay, and when I finish this, I will get back to you. So you see, I got another ball of thread with 1 base color, and I've attached 2 more yarns with this, and this one I already showed you, and this one. So now we have about these 3 for our use. But since I still have some more yarn, what I am thinking is I will keep this as the base, because this is in sufficient in a little more quantity than the others. So I am going to keep this as the base. Okay, this one is a variegated thread which I had dyed with tea for experimenting, and I have left over. So this will be the base, and along with this I can add any of the thread to make it the same thickness as this one. Okay, so that will be my next ball. Okay, so let me start with, this is the second and let me take this one. Okay, so I am going to add all these three together. They are almost like the similar shade. So now, but we are not we are not going to mind about the color. We are just only focusing on having some using up this scrap yarn in a very effective way. And since these three colors are almost same, even that will be a good thread for us to use. I am taking another spool and I am going to start winding. These together now. So the purpose is to get as much thread as you can with all the scraps that you have, and also it's a wise idea to just make it with similar colors, and you can still keep the scrap yarn or the leftover yarn for some other projects also to make it in some other ways. But since this is all of the same color family, I am thinking I will make one more bundle with how much ever this one lasts. So till then I will keep adding the other two threads and make it a 3-strand yarn bundle for now. Okay, this is going to be a little difficult because this is not in a ball, this is wound up like this, so it's going to be a little difficult to do it, but I'll do it off camera and I'll show you when I finish this one. So this is the another ball of thread that I got with what I was making. Okay, now with that done, so here we have all the three colors plus this one, and let me bring in the leftovers again. So here in this bundle, this is the one which has most yarn, and these are all very less. So I will keep this as the base yarn and add other thread with this to make it into another ball of yarn. So this will be the base. So with this I can add any one of them, but as you see, this one is already a little bit thicker than what we started with. So my guess is I will have to use only 2 strands, I think. Yeah, so if I use 2 strands, I might get the same thickness. So I'll use only 2 strands, one of this and any one of the others. So I can start with this one. And again take a spool and start winding it. See, now we are making with only 2 strands, and when you are using it in a project and if the thickness does not match what you are making, you can either add 1 or 2 more depending on what you are doing. So that this is not the end of it, that is if you make a mistake and you cannot rectify it again. So this is now 2 strands. So add another strand if you need to, and you will be able to continue with whatever project you are making. So in crochet, what is very important is the size of the thread, because if the size is the same throughout the project, only then your work will lie flat or however it is meant to be. If it is of various sizes, it may not be suitable. So that's why I am insisting to make sure that when you are making your own thread like this, make sure that they are all of the of a kind of same thickness. And later when you want, like I told you, you can even add 1 or 2 strands again to this, so that it comes to whatever size you want. Okay, let me continue it and then I'll get back to you. So this is all the yarn that we have got from all the stash that I had taken out today. So this is one big bundle and this is a little smaller one, and these are all, but look at the colors, they are all so lovely, and they've got that nice because of that shiny thread that I had, all of them have got a nice shine in them, and I'm so excited to use all of these excuse me. And also it's been a very satisfying afternoon for me, because my yarn stash, there has been a dent in my yarn stash, and then I've got all this ready for any project that I want to work on. So what was left in what I took out today are these two, just a little bit of black and some white, and they are orphaned now, but now not to worry, I'll find a partner for them. And black and white is never going to be, you know, wasted. It's always a very useful color to have around. So that's it. Let us enjoy your thread making, and then it's such an exciting thing to look forward to how to use this yarn. So happy crocheting.